Hi, welcome back to yet another pod. It's been a minute and we're back. I am back in the saddle, the California cowboy himself, ready to rock and roll and ride into my latest obsession, the city of Detroit. The city of Detroit has brought so much joy to my life over the last 3 weeks, and here's the reason. If you don't know, Detroit was hosting the NFL draft, and coincidence or not, leading up to that, they decided, the city of Detroit, to invest in the city and put in some new signage. Now, the mock-up of the sign that was promised was supposed to rival the Hollywood sign in Los Angeles, which that's a pretty big statement because the Hollywood sign is quite iconic, if I do say so myself. So this is the mock-up that the city of Detroit was promised. Now, they had over a $400,000 budget to accomplish this, and when it was all said and done, the city ended up spending just a little over $100,000 on their sign. Now, the expectation being one that rivals the Hollywood sign. In reality, Detroit got this sign. This is an abomination compared to the original promised design. Whether it was possible or not, it is nowhere near what we thought it would be. And the city of Detroit is very upset. The letters are all weird and crooked on a hill. It's disgusting. I thought it was very funny when I saw it. But there's a man, my new hero, in fact, who hated this sign so much that he decided to write, record, film a diss track and post it on YouTube. And in it, he just goes in on the sign, says that it looks like he got it from Wish. He wants to take it back. He said he's seen bigger and better signs out of graduation. He just goes all in. He goes so hard, and it is hilarious as he sits inside of the sign because this sign is so small. Now, I was curious to see what other people thought. Maybe he was just a one-off. So I went to the news YouTube channel for Detroit, and they're interviewing people, and it seems a little bit split. There's a lot of people that are trying to be kind and nice. They're just excited to have something new. But they did interview my boy, and this is what he had to say.
What made you come up with this song?
Well, I'm the voice of Detroit, so yesterday I got like over 1,000 inbox to do the song, so had to do the song. That looked like Dollar Tree, like, the Dollar Tree sign?
Now, as time went on, the city went back and they installed some lights in the sign. With that, it lights up at night, which is cool. You can see it at night because it's illuminated, but not because it's large. So our boy released a second diss track, and in it, he teeter-totters a little bit. He goes back and he's like, you know what? Since those lights have gone in, it's kind of cool now. I kind of like it. So, he's backpedaling a little bit, but I love how passionate he is about this sign. Not only him, but the entire city has decided to express their opinion on the sign by creating their own signs in their front yard. This is meme of the year for me. People are getting cardboard boxes and cutting out like their names or their street name or whatever and making it very wonky and as small as possible and putting it in their front yard. And the news picked up on this, and it's so funny. I don't know why this story isn't as popular and well known as it should be, because this is one of the best things that's happened in a long time. Everyone is wondering, where the hell did the rest of that money go? And why did we get this? What's going on? And because of the backlash now, the city, as of a few days ago, put a fence around the sign and a no trespassing sign because they are afraid that people are going to vandalize this beautiful landmark. This is a developing story. I think that we're coming towards the tail end of it, so I wanted to wait until we had, beginning, middle, and potentially end. If more happens, I will update you because this has been my obsession. I open my phone every morning when I wake up and I'm like, what's happening in Detroit? And it's been a roller coaster because the people are speaking and the people do not like this sign. At least 50% of them. So in other news, that is not global necessarily, but impacts my world and the worlds around me. Our young, strapping lad, Jonas, has left the nest. He and his fiance are no more man and wife. They are now. Jonas got married. Shout out to them. Shout out to the Groves. It's kind of a cool last name. if I do say so myself. Their wedding was fantastic. The ceremony was great. Great times were had by all. We would rate the wedding 11 out of 4. Good time. So congratulations to Jonas and Nadia officially for being Groves. Getting back to news that affects the larger aspects of society. Cage the Elephant released the final single from Neon Pill. It is called Metaverse. I hate the name Metaverse as a song, but perhaps in the context of the album, it will make more sense, which is kind of my way of saying I don't get it, but maybe I will. The song overall, I would say, is my second favorite single that was released out of the 4 that had come out. Definitely Neon Pill is number 1 for me. It takes one to know one. Just they get right to it right away. This song is solid. I could see myself listening to it while vacuuming the house. Got the headphones on, vacuuming. Or I'm on a run. I've got it going. Or I'm driving through the city and I've got one window down. And it's not the driver's side window. I'll let you choose which window it is. But one window's down and I'm blasting Metaverse. I am still as excited as I was before. I am very interested to see how it's all going to sound all together. Like I have said, I do feel as if this is going to be a culmination of all of the sounds that Cage the Elephant has collected as a band up until this point. You can hear hints of the first album, the middle era of albums, the latest albums. You can hear it all in there, so it feels like it will be almost a greatest hits, but with brand new songs. They are on tour, so if you have not gotten your tickets to go see them on tour, you should absolutely stop what you're doing now after you finish watching the video and get your tickets. We got our tickets. This will be my very first time seeing them live, so I will not speak to the live experience, but from what I've seen on the videos that I've watched on the internet of live performances, looks like a great time. We have about a week and a half before this album comes out. Go check out the singles if you have not. There are 4 of them. They all sound so different from the others, but at the same time, they're the most Cage the Elephant singles of all time. Get your tickets, see them live, support the band, give them the hugs and kisses and your dollars, okay? Additionally, there is an elephant in the room. Not actually, but there's quite a bit of things behind me. If you notice, if you don't, I feel like you're the least observant person of all time. But if you do notice, there's not a bed behind me anymore. Whoa, where did the bed go? Am I sleeping on the floor? No. We have transformed Jonas's room into a place to cultivate creativity. Previously, I had this little desk that I had found in the alleyway, and I customized it to fit my camera, computer, all these different things on it, and it was sitting in the corner, and every time I wanted to film, I would have to get everything out, set up the lights, all that jazz. And it took me longer to set up and take down all the different things that I had than it did to actually film and edit the video, which made me very sad, and it made me want to make videos less because of just the thought of doing it. Inside of me, there's so much laziness, and I have to combat it quite consistently. Now we have this room, and it's all set up. All I do, walk in here, turn on the lights, hit action on the camera, and we're here. And boom, with the new setup, I anticipate there being quite a bit more output from your boy. And I'm sure my wife is very excited because now our room is not a makeshift recording area anymore. So shout out to her for dealing with that for 11 months and being very kind and gracious to me on the days when I felt too lazy to put the lights away and kind of let them out all night and took up so much space in our room. Thank you to her for being kind. And I'm very excited to be in this recording space now, and I'm excited for the possibilities because they feel like they're endless. I feel like I'm kind of unstoppable now. All of the obstacles I had before, out of my way. Just record, edit, post, it's game over. That is the big update with me. I said a few weeks ago I have a surprise coming, and here she blows. Now it is time for our favorite segment, Discover Weekly Top 5. I tried to hold it out like Kendrick held out that note in the song where he disrespected Drake immensely. Discover Weekly, kind of bummy. I'm not going to lie to you. Couldn't find 5. So instead, I present to you an album. An album that I think has gone under the radar and an album that I think deserves more attention. The artist for said album is named Q, the letter. Just Q, not Q the letter, but Q. And the album is called Soul Present. There are 10 tracks on here, and it is an 80s motif. I first heard Q on Take Me to Where Your Heart Is and Garage Rooftop, and it's kind of this Frank Ocean-esque vibe that Q gives off in that early project. I'm definitely not comparing Q to Frank Ocean by any means. I think we get a little bit more output. Maybe we have a legend on our hands, but I don't know yet. Everything that I thought I knew about Q after listening to that first project, I had to throw out the window because this is completely different. It's so dancey. And I think that every once in a while it's good for a dancey time. There are a few songs on this project that are similar to the ones that made me fall in love with Q, but the 80s motif, it gives me Weekend vibes. Definitely not The Weeknd. Don't go into this thinking it's The Weeknd. It is not. But the 80s-esque thing, I think that I'm a little bit of a sucker for that right now because of The Weeknd. This is not about him. This is about Q. If you only check out one song, you got to check out So. It's the second track on the album. Absolute banger. I think that Q deserves more love. He gets love. Don't get me wrong. But I think he deserves even more love. So you should check out his album. I gave you 10 songs instead of 5. So shout out to me this time. And since we're giving shout outs, I want to give one to you because you made it to the end of the video. So shout out to you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Thank you for this roller coaster of Detroit news and musical things that you have gone on with me. And I will see you in the next one.